All right, my name is Captain Irving, and you're in F Troop. Now, oh, kitty.
If you haven't noticed yet, each main character has their own theme music. That was Jane's. It plays when she appears. Right now, she's talking with Captain Parmenter while he walks over to her store. He has a little time to spare.
That's good. And we'll have time to walk over to Corton Rock. It's nice and peaceful and quiet out there.
Oh, it's peaceful and quiet right here. That's why I like it here. It's not wild and noisy like back home in Philadelphia.
I think Jane might have more luck if she moved to London and hit on the Phantom Major some more. It's time for us to meet some people, starting with Pete the bartender.
Oh, Pete, now look what you've done.
Butterfingers?
I'm sorry. Keep your hands off of me.
This one's on the house.
Wait a minute.
I'll give it to him.
That guy's name is Earp. Sam Earp. He says he's the fastest gun in the West. He's also not a nice man.
Happy time.
That's Charlie, the town drunk. Let's watch him in action.
Are you all right, Charlie?
Never felt better in my life. I got an awful lot to learn about running a saloon. I'd like to see him do that again. They did.
Believe it or not, that guy was 65 when he did all that. Harvey Perry was one of the best-known stuntmen of his time. Born in 1900, he was an AAU boxer and high diver in his youth. While he was working at a movie studio as a property man, he realized his background in those two fields made him a perfect candidate to be a stuntman. He doubled for just about every major star who was around at the time, from Humphrey Bogart to John Wayne to Mary Pickford to Shirley Temple. Oh yeah, he was only 5'6", so with the right clothes he could double as just about anybody. When he wasn't doing that, he was doing parts like this where he got to show off his talents. The stumbling drunk was one of his specialties, and it makes Charlie a delight to watch. Except Jane doesn't think so.
Oh, he didn't look well. He ought to go home and lie down.
Fall down is more like it. Getting so this town ain't a fitting place to marry and raise children.
I have a feeling Wilton's first response to that would be, then don't go somewhere else and raise them. You have to wonder how long Jane is going to keep chasing Captain Clueless.
When are you going to do something about that saloon?
Now, Janie, it's not a cavalry problem.
Well, it's a territorial problem, and you're the military governor of this here town.
Well, that does it. I'm swearing off. Till this afternoon.
I can't get enough of Charlie. He just makes me laugh. As I said, Harvey Perry was 65 when he did this show. He kept working into his 80s. When he died at 85, he was still keeping up a daily exercise regimen and could probably still do these pratfalls. He didn't usually get credited for his work, but without him we wouldn't have gotten a lot of the greatest movies of all time. To say nothing of Charlie.
Well, when are you going to do something about it?
Janie, I'm going in there right now.
That's one.
You better go someplace and sleep this off, mister. There, I'll get your hat.
That's two. Parmenter tells O'Rourke and Agarn to take care of this drunk, then says he's going to his office to write up an order closing the saloon. If he does that, O'Rourke Enterprises becomes just a fond memory.
You tell that two-bit captain to start toting the gun, because the next time we meet, I'm going to kill him. Now get out of my way before somebody gets hurt.
Too late. He and that door are a running gag through the whole episode, and Jack Elam pulled it off. He's spoofing himself a little in this role because from the 50s on, If there was a Western movie or TV show, he was somewhere in it. He was Tom McClory in the gunfight at the OK Corral, so now he's playing a guy named Earp. On top of everything else that makes this show great, we have symmetry. Right now, our boys have to stop the captain from closing the saloon. He's on his way there now.
Here, boys, stop that. I said stop that.
Now, this here's the military governor, and he don't allow no fighting around here because this is war territory.
We'll see them again, and they'll still be at it. Captain Parmenter has bigger issues like the saloon. But not to worry, O'Rourke has already taken care of that.
Captain, they've changed the sign.
Whatever happened to the saloon?
Tinker Bell's ice cream parlor?
They're just trying to pull the wool over your eyes, sir.
Oh, that Pete, he's a crafty one, sir.
Well, maybe he's really trying to clean the place up. Let's go inside and see.
Don't mind if I do. Ice cream is one of my really big weaknesses, and a big reason I've never been able to get rid of this. Where'd they find all these people? Not to mention the fancy clothes to put them in. That's 3.
Well, if this don't beat a busted tom-tom.
Well, hello, Janie. May I buy you a drink?
Wilton.
Oh, it's all right, Wrangler. This is vintage stuff, sarsaparilla.
She's more upset because he forgot they had a date. She's teaching him to shoot. So he has to be off. He's seen enough to satisfy him.
Don't tell me he got that way on sarsaparilla.
Sergeant, that drunk's back again.
We'll take care of him, sir.
That's 4. He says, next time I catch him away from that swinging door, you guys will be looking for a new captain. Thing is, even out there on the frontier, they didn't stand for cold-blooded murder, whatever the reason. If he did just go out and shoot Captain Parmenter, or anybody else for that matter, he'd be on the run for the rest of his life, or the rest of his life would not be very long because there's a rope in the way. Jack McCall, the man, I use the term loosely, who murdered Wild Bill Hickok, found that out the hard way. Bill was sitting there playing cards in a Deadwood saloon when McCall came in, quietly circled the room until he was behind Hickok, then pulled out his pistol, said, "Take that, damn you," and shot Hickok in the back of the head. The bullet went clear through Wild Bill's head and hit a man across the table. A bunch of guys took McCall into custody and they arranged a trial. Thing is, Deadwood was an illegal settlement at the time. It was on an Indian reservation and white people were supposed to stay out. But when somebody discovered gold in the Black Hills, treaties became meaningless. Besides, they were just Indians. It's not like they were real people or something crazy like that. So anyway, at his trial, Jack McCall claimed that Wild Bill had killed his brother and he was exacting revenge. The jury bought it and acquitted him, whereupon he got his scrawny butt out of town as quick as humanly possible. He went to Wyoming, but word of what he had done preceded him. Wyoming authorities went to court and argued successfully that since the Deadwood trial took place in an illegal locale, it was an illegal trial, and thus double jeopardy didn't apply and he could be tried again. This time justice was swift and he was hanged. He was 24. Sam Earp is a little older than that, but if he just guns the captain down, he'll meet a similar fate. He has to know that. Yes, I know I'm spoiling the joke. Deal with it. He'll do better to shoot the swinging door. Far as I know, nobody's ever been executed for that. O'Rourke has an idea. Disable Earp's gun hand so he can't shoot. That'll stop him. Never mind, he'll do it himself. Unfortunately, he shoots equally well with either hand. Make him open the door with his left hand and that'll take care of it. They asked Captain Parmenter to sign an order running Earp out of town, but as far as the captain knows, Earp is just a harmless drunk who can't seem to get out of his own way. He'll go have a talk with the man. This calls for desperate measures to get rid of Earp.
Get not. A Cowie peaceful tribe. Never kidnap nobody.
Still, he realizes that if Captain Parmenter is gone, they lose one sweet deal. So he'll do it.
Agarn is over at the saloon keeping an eye on this Sam Earp. Now you send 2 of your best braves over there and get him. What if he put up fight? Overpower him. Better send 4 braves.
You know, some people make fun of me on social media when I point out that something they said is vague and I need clarification. Here is today's lesson on why those things matter.
All right, light the fire and pass the marshmallows. What did you bring him for?
You said Agarn guard Earp. Bring him here. We bring.
How can you argue with that? Earp is still in town and Parmenter is doing his daily patrol of the town. The stage is set, the combatants are ready.
Now, boys, I told you to stop that. Now, run along, run along.
Ready may be overstating it a bit. One combatant is ready, the other hasn't figured out what's going on yet. Just can't seem to get this gunfight off the ground.
Well, Mr. Earp, glad to see you've sobered up.
Earp says, "What kind of a shootout is this?" Parmenter says, "Who's having a shootout? I don't allow fighting in the streets like I told those boys."
Soldier, either you fight, or you'll be known as a coward from one end of the West to the other. A lily-livered, chicken-hearted coward.
I will?
And a disgrace to your uniform.
Well, then, I guess I'll just have to fight. Now, you go down to the blacksmith shop and we'll start all over.
In reality, what few quick-draw gunfights did occur were often about 5 feet apart. More than once, not only did the bullet do some serious damage to a man, but the powder burning set his shirt on fire. But where's the comedy in that? And besides, as long as he's walking away, the captain is safe, because we've already made it clear that Earp won't shoot him in the back. Okay, we had a problem with that one. Everybody reset and let's do it again. Those boys are fighting again, and we finally know why. One says Parmenter's the best shot in the West, and the other says he ain't. Let's settle it.
You see that bottle over there? Watch this.
See, I told ya.
I've been focusing a little heavily on the serious side of things, and especially Western history, but this episode had me laughing from start to finish. As I said last time, there is no wasted footage. Everything contributes to the gags or the story or both. And the gags are funny. Take this one. I've never seen that one before or since, and talk about memorable. For one thing, how many tries did it take? How long did Ken Barry have to practice to get the hang of putting his gun away wrong? And he doesn't notice, even though that boot has got to be god-awfully uncomfortable now. His naivete about Jane and her designs on him. And don't get me started on Larry Storch. This show has magic. I'm sure we'll hit a bad episode or two before we get to the end of season 2, but as much as I'm enjoying this retrospective, I may or may not notice. If you're enjoying this, be sure to click the thumbs up button to show you like it. If you're not subscribed yet, punch me in the face right here and get it done. And don't forget that you can become a patron and help keep this kitty fed. The link is below. Until next time.